whatever they want to do with their families. We're just here being the voice. We're not here to say, we shouldn't have, should do this or should go this way. No, we are just stories of our experiences, the closeness, what family is about, the taking, the cue that you take from it, that's but I would like, and then a vivu tunita kabakabida, nanonda dingin sa kaya and the kava, balatani sa meado na lenga, sendora kaya sa sinyaraw, ninda na viso tak. Balato kenda kenda go na kenda na lovenda. So I know we are talking a lot on the love that we must and that we should have for our children, their upbringing, the discipline that is required of them, the little that we do. Some of the children, I think, rongoda na basadani rayandra rongoda na basadani ramode lebo ngone rongoda tunga na basako lebo ngone rongoda tunga na mokuniti nandra lebo ngone rongoda tunga na bibala and doing na roka ni mata ivurbura era kemi ni bakara rongoda tukumekina and not singa vinaka ni koa. There are a lot of different scenarios and pictures that happen in every household. Horrible. It can be so overwhelming. But whatever the situation is and whatever those family scenarios may be, it really depends entirely on the couple, entirely on the family, because we can only share and watch, but the taking ownership and making those scenery change, I believe it either take you to make it happen or take another power that is supreme that can make that happen. And that is what we want to share with us today. We just want us to love our children, hug them. And if you have your children for a very long time, please. And if you say that they are too old to be hugged, please hug them and tell them that you love them. I know before I used to hug my grandchildren. They'll quickly wrap their arms around me. Or hug my grandson. They'll quickly, hug me back and hug me hard. But now when you hug, it's like their hands are it's like, okay. Indirectly, they're trying to tell me, get on with it. Please move on. Because as they grow older, I mean, their life change. We are not the only ones who are changing. Their lives are changing as well. And grab the moment while you can still feel their hug. Now I from Sunny Mall and from Lake Kayla, from Hadass and Samsara, they hug. Like for Kayla. I was so looking forward to come and see her, my youngest granddaughter. Really missed her on this trip. And when when we met, she hugged me so tight. And, that moment, I just cry in my heart, man, I miss this. I miss this moment. I miss this granddaughter of mine. And even to the stage now, when she wants to sleep, and she'll tell me, for me to take her to my bedroom. And before she can just roll out and sleep. But now, no, she'll come closer to me and hug me and make sure she's holding on to my top or holding on to any part of my body. And I'm beginning to feel, indirectly, she's trying to show me, don't go again. It's like I for too long. And those are relationships you have with your children and with your grandchildren. And I go with them to the movies here. I preach the word of God here at church. I go to movies with my grandchildren, and I enjoy them. I sit there and I watch movies with them. I tell them, I am your nana. I'm not the preacher. I'm not the pastor. I'm not the church goer. I am a normal grandmother that loves them. I sit with them and I try and enjoy those moments. And when she comes in, she said, I want to watch Ninja Kids. I want to watch Peppa Pig. Sing along with them. Hey Diddle Diddle, and all those kind of stuff. And those moments, I guarantee, they will never forget. It lingers with them. It stays with them. And I want to be the voice to the moms, the grandmoms that are listening to me today, because we are the ones that make that connection, that create these things. The dads and the grandfathers, they are always there to support what needs to be done. They are always there to be, the body, the force, and the provider in what needs to be done. But to think it out, to create those situations, to create moments, and to make them happen, that lies with you, moms, grandmoms at home. So stand up and love your child and get your husband to be part of what you plan for your children and what you plan for your grandchildren. I know we are all churchgoers. We go to church, we all pray. We all pray to this God that, that blesses us. And God has blessed our family. God has you that family. And if only you know that there are couples and there are women that are praying and asking God for children, for them to have their children, and they cannot have children, or their children. If only you know that there are other people that are also desiring to have a family, but they, out of circumstances they're in, they cannot. And you have it. And more so for us to, to be grateful and be best custodians to our children, and to be the best custodians to our grandchildren. And show them that we love them. And also indirectly tell God, thank you for blessing my womb with these children. I am so blessed. So regardless of the child you have, no matter how rebellious they may be, remember, they are your children. I've always shared, and I know, I sound like a already for my eldest daughter, but seeing her life now and seeing the way that she's enjoying her life and her children, my heart is blessed. From what it was to what my heart is really blessed. And I'm really grateful that I'm still alive to be able to witness that. That's what I'm grateful to God for. That He kept me alive to see these days and to see this moment. That when I die, I'll die peacefully. That my job is done. I've made it. And with God's help, He made it. And on that note, please love your children, regardless how rebellious they can be. They can be talking back to you, or they may be doing things to you that be so painful and hurting. Love them, because no one else will love them as their child. You are the only one who can love them as your own children, because they belong to you. You are biologically connected to them. And your love, it's amazing. Your love towards this rebellious action, towards rebellious children, they will never forget that. They will remember. They may be acting out the way that they are acting, but in their heart, they know that you love them. Continuously tell them that you love them. The day will come that voice will become so loud in their ears that counsel that you always give will be amplified in their ears, and they will remember your love lasts. Out of all the things they're doing to you, you continuously love them above and against all odds.
I remember last night when everybody was sleeping at home and Licky came. So we went through Hey Diddle Diddle and Humpty Dumpty's Sitting on the Wall, the ABC song, and she was correcting me how to sing it. And imagine, those are the moments that she will tell for a long, long time. And as parents, as grandparents, when we give our attention, we will never know how much they treasure those kind of moments. Because there are some that they are struggling along. There are some young men, young women, they are in prison at the moment because of that rebellious attitude, because they don't find that love, or there was no confirmation from home, or there was no love from home. And I believe they went out and tried to do things which is not right, because nobody was there to guide them along. So the role of parents and role of adults and parents into a home is very, very important, because we've been through that life. No better person to teach the children or the grandchildren is us, the parents and the grandparents, because we've been through that life. We can share, we can tell, we can speak, we can give examples, even though the choice is theirs. But at the back of them, they already knew that somebody share with them. Because out there in the world, there are a lot of temptation, there are a lot of scenarios. Because we come from different homes, different backgrounds, different races. So the teaching or the background will be different, our culture will be different. But it is parents at home. And how solid, what is the foundation that we live with our children? The teaching. And for us, I believe one of the things that keep us together is our devotion at home. In the evening, devotion. The singing together, after singing, then we have a time that we just laugh and enjoy. Those are the moments that reminds them of family or the values of in a home. And wherever they will go, or how far they will go, or whatever things that they will do in life, I believe that those memories will live in them. And not all our children will be the same. some will be out there, they call it black sheep, and some will be very obedient, but they are all our children. So the responsibility still remain with us. And as Randy, the more we spend time with them and the teaching with them, the guidance with them, and be part of their life, especially, as I said, before they reach 17 and 18 and 19, before those years, when we nurture them and be with them, I believe that they will remember.
Yeah.
In a long time to come, they will remember those stories. And sometimes I've heard some pastors say, man, I can't preach, I can't do this work because my children. No, they are children. They are children. Even parents, that we must give time and continue to talk, continue to visit, and continue to send message, because they are our children. One day or the other, then they will remember us, that we are always behind them. And we want to encourage all the parents that you are watching this morning. Don't ever give up on your children.
Yes.
Never give up on your children. Because I believe, even if they come late, Randini said, we were very happy and we are really blessed. Our firstborn came back, and we see the joy that she's going through at the moment, coming back home, coming back to the ministry. And maybe your children will come in life, but they will come and they will thank you, parents, for the teaching, the hard teaching or the sharing that you'll do. And some they will come late, and some maybe they come sooner. But regardless of what they will face, they will remember their home, they will remember their parents, they will remember their grandparents and the values.
Never stop talking. The talk keep on going. There's a lot of things happening. Wherever they fault, or wherever they come with all those kind of issues, let's remember to counsel. And whatever that you do, counsel with love. Tell them what's the what is the outcome that they make. Because once they know, and you continuously tell them the outcome, then they'll think again as and when they come through those kind of situations, because they know whatever that they're doing, that's exactly the outcome of what can be. Some of them may be arriving home in a taxi, lost all their watches, lost their wallet, lost everything, lost the valuables. Or some, they come home with their shoes even taken off, stolen. They're too drunk to look after the things that belong to them. And those are the moments that can be breaking for some women or for some moms that are tuning in this morning. But when those moments happen, like what I said, it's the women, it's the mothers that feel the most. The men, they're very good talkers, but the women are the most that feel with all these things that is happening, because it always gives you the impression, what else to say to my son? What else to say to my daughter? And all those things, as they happen, try and know that there are certain things you can do and certain things you can do. And as long as they know that you love them, let that be the most vital thing in their life, as long as they know that you love them. And also for them to always hear your counsel and to tell them that, you must stop doing this because you can be a better person. Or when you do this, you lose this, you lose that. And when you do this, take away this. And all those words we continue to share with them, one day it will come to fruition in their life. And we believe that it can happen to any child. No child is ever to the extreme that is, cannot be saved or cannot change. It can happen, it can change, and change can happen to anyone, no matter how bad things may be. And also to the single mothers that are tuning in today, I believe most of the time I always feel that I'm always concentrating on normal families, normal couples, normal children, that we fail to acknowledge the fact that we have, like what Gasiliv said, there are children on the streets that come from, broken homes. And also we have some children that are raised single-handedly by some mothers. And also I heard a few men that are single-handedly looking after their children or their families. So it used to be only single mothers. Now there's quite a fair bit of single fathers. And no matter how single you may be, and the stress and everything happens for a couple to make it happen, those double portion of every responsibility is on one person, and that is you. So if you are one of them today, we would like to say congratulations for doing a good job, that you have come far to today, what you have achieved over the years to today, to single-handedly look after your family and look after your children. to make them be who they are today. Maybe sometimes you have to give up on them, or maybe sometimes they're too much to handle. And maybe there's some moments of regret in your life, but you cannot go back and undo the mistakes. You cannot go back and undo the things that has happened. But with that issue for life to come and days to come. And maybe you reach those moments and no one is close to you. No one is there can help you. Bless those family support, have your parental support, or maybe your grandparents support, or you have your friends support. But to some of you, they don't have any form of support at all. I would like to encourage you, just draw closer to God, because He gives you peace, He gives you the strength, and He gives you that peace that surpasses all human understanding, which means whatever you're looking at is what it is, but He gives you that peace in your heart that you're going to be good. And always say and continuously say in your mind and say in your heart, I am good. You're not only good because you are good seeing the things around you. You are good because God is with you. Also to those of you who have any contribution to this single parenting, like you've made it happen, and then you've just walked away from that responsibility and started another new family, forgetting about the wife or the husband that you have left behind and the children that you have left behind. Please be convicted and find a space in your heart to know and remember that you also have children left behind. And also to try in other ways that you can assist and help with their upbringing, because you cannot deny the fact that they are biologically connected to you, that the days will come as they grow older, they will not ever deny that. It will always, and they will always find their parents, whether you like it or not, or you don't ownership or have anything to do with it, but it will follow you and it will find you one day. So wherever you are today, and whatever circumstances you may be, and the struggles and challenges that you can say that you will not be able to give your child a normal upbringing or a normal, a normal life like every other child. We would like to say today, thank you for the efforts you have made so far to make it to this level. And if you have looked after your singularly over the primary school days, you can always do it for the secondary school. And if you have done it for the secondary school, you can also do it for the uni. Whichever way it goes, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. And trust God. And always be positive. Never regret. Never look back and say, I shouldn't have. Or I should have had this child. Or I shouldn't have. Don't say you shouldn't have, because the child is right there before you. Don't look back and say, what if I shouldn't have? Take away all those vocab from you. And in your heart, you say, be positive and say, I am blessed. I have this child that I can call my own. And everything around you positively. Hard for you to look at your week, look at the days. If it's hard for you to look at your days, look at the hour. Enjoy the moment, enjoy the hour. Look at the day, look at the week, then look at the month, look at the year. When you are on your own, project your years, project your child years. Write it down and have it at the back of your mind as you pray. You take it all on and you do them or manage them in manageable chunks. Take things you can manage now and write things that you cannot manage now. And relook at the whole scope. Take away stress from your life or depression, because that's not going to happen. You're feeling so stressed out and so depressed, your child is not happy, then your family is not happy, because you're stressed out with things to come. You're overthinking yourself in the things that you cannot handle, things that you cannot control. You're living today with all those stress, and you're the current atmosphere that you're creating at home. It is another word of advice to us women, because I'm speaking from experience. There are certain things that we can handle now, and certain things that we cannot handle. A lot of things we overthink it, because we are thinkers. We're always thinking for our children, for our grandchildren. We're always thinking for our home. We're thinking of our investment. We're thinking of our finances. We're thinking of the money we can save. All those things we continuously think and continue to think. And sometimes don't stop thinking. But I would like to encourage you today. Sit back and review your thinking. Take on what you know you can do now, and try and place your thinking in better places, and try and manage your thinking in a better place. Relook at the things. Take on the things you know you need to do now and think over. Things that you cannot have control over, write you can think about that later. But when you pray, you can pick on those things and pray about it. And don't overthink it, because if not, you work yourself up to have high blood pressure. You work yourself up to be so stressed and so depressed because you cannot handle everything that is happening around you. I know, I'm speaking from there are moments of my life that when I pray, I don't know what to say. There are moments of my life that when I stand in the shower, all I do is cry. There are moments of my life that when I drive, I speak to God and I speak to myself and I begin to cry in the car. And if you can relate to my story, I'm sharing with you today, because I know there's a lot of women going through that. And sometimes you are lost. You don't know where to begin, what to do, what to do. And if you are in that situation, take a break. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a step back and rethink and relook. Move out and relook at the same picture in a different outlook, in a different thinking, in a different concept. Because at the end of the day, we overwork ourselves, we stress ourselves, we take ourselves to that near depression mode. For who? For everybody else around you, but you're killing yourself in the process. You deserve to enjoy your life. You deserve to have your life. So have your life and take only the things you know you can handle. And take it one step at a time. And seek God, your creator, to help you out of depression, out of all that stress that you're going through, for you to be able to enjoy what you have right there before you. So as we have about 7 minutes left on our program this morning. We have spoken to you about your health. We have spoken to you about your children and your grandchildren, and the love, the discipline, the commitment, the responsibilities, the chores. And also, as we are rounding up today, we would like to remind you, husbands and wives work together. Men will be the voice of the women to us, to you men, this morning. Help out in your home. A lot of things your wife is doing. A lot of thinking your wife is doing. A lot of everything else your wife is doing. Try to be the helper and try to be the hand that can help your wife. And try to help with the things that you can help. You will never know how much that is so much appreciated and how much grateful they can be when you do that. On the last family table talk that we were in Scotland, I had 3 ladies with me, and they were sharing about their life experience and their journeys. And I was really, blessed with the fact when they were sharing, they were thanking their husbands. Thanking their husbands for stepping in and making breakfast. Thanking their husbands. One of them found a sickness. Never knew that the sickness was with her. And she was hospitalized. And she said, not until now that I'm home, and I know how much my husband loves me. And I know how much I value to him. And, I was thanking those men in the church to thank them for what they've done. And it can be, it can be so little, but it's so much to the women at home. And just for them to, and one of the ladies was mentioning that the husband stays at home while she works. And every time as they come home with their children, the food is already, the dinner is cooked. The house is cleaned. And everything else is done. And it may be not termed as men's job, but it's also not women's job to be bringing money home, to be, looking after the family, or to be the resource for the home. If we have to strictly term what is men's responsibility and what is women's responsibility, I believe most men's responsibility. And most of you men, the little responsibility to do for the women, it becomes a big thing, huge thing for you. It's like, that's not my job, it's women's job. But yet women are willingly taking over men's job to make it happen for their family. So men that are listening today, try and help out at home. Help with the preparation for dinner, and help in rounding out the children from the ocean. Help with the little things that you can do to bring about that joy in the house, that take away a little stress out of the mothers at home. If your wife or your mom at home is going through high blood pressure, these are the little contributing factors that worked up in their mind. They go to sleep, cannot have a good night rest because they're thinking of tomorrow. They're thinking of the early morning, the lunches, the children going to school, all other things. And mothers are mothers, women are women. We cannot stop ourselves from thinking these things. Even though at times husbands will say, don't worry about anything, just think about yourself. Don't worry about these things. We cannot stop ourselves from worrying because they are our responsibility. And we cannot stop ourselves from doing the things we do. But the help that you men can do, it helps. be the thinker, be the matured person, be the helper, and be the person that can be there to help share the load of the mother at home and the load of the responsibilities in raising up children, raising up grandchildren, and raising up a good family. Yes, because I believe when God created us, He created us uniquely having a family. All the other elements easily replaced. But this is the element of life. In a whole journey or life journey, you can never be replaced, which is a family. So embrace that, because it's a calling from God. You are called from God to be a father. You are called from God to be a mother, and also to be the child. Young children, if you're listening to this program, if you happen to be one of the ones or one of the many that are so ungrateful at home, ungrateful with the things that are provided on the table, ungrateful with the things that your parents go out of their way to provide for you to be who you are today, then I believe it's about time that you change that attitude and show your parents respect and honor your parents and tell them thank you. Look them straight in the eyes and tell them, Daddy, Mommy, Nata, Gay, oh, thank you. Thank you for blessing me. You have done to my life, because that thank you, that little gratitude, you will never know how much it blesses your parents' hearts. And for those of you who have left home, or maybe you are rebelling against your family and you're staying in somebody else's family, please return home and tell your parents that you love them. Maybe they've said things to you that have hurt you. Maybe they've done things to you or abused you in a way that is so hard for you to forgive them. Find the space in your heart to forgive them. I will bring this story about this young lady that stood up in Scotland during the youth night. And she came from the Edinburgh community youth. And she stood, and as she was sharing her story and her journey, she was just crying. Crying that her dad left their family when they were very small, and her brother. And they grew up knowing that the father always come in and out of their lives. And until the time he moved back to Fiji. And she said, I'm always crying out to God. I'm always calling out to God and asking God why this is happening. And not father moved across to Fiji. Then she said, that hurt, that she made it her business. She doesn't want anything to do with her father again. And as she shared her story later on, and then she mentioned that one time the father sent her a message to say, before the beginning of the year, I would like to ask for forgiveness. Whatever failings that I've done to you as my daughter, or to you as my children. And she said, when I read that message from my father, I cried, and I tried to make amends. I tried to love my father once again. And this is a storyline, of different people, different scenarios, and different things that are affecting either the children or the parents in both ways. A child, if you're listening to me today, and you have your parents at home, you call mommy, daddy, you call nanapa, boo, tutu, nata. You have that blessing of calling them bless. And remember, there are many children who don't have that privilege you have. And also parents, you have the audacity and also the blessing of having your children with you. There are many parents that are not able to be with their children due to different circumstances of their lives, due to situations that have happened in their lives. Maybe some have passed on, one have passed on, or maybe marriages have broken down, or things that have happened, contributing factors that have led to be the family that they've had today. So parents have your children, and children have your parents. Appreciate one another, hug, and tell each other that you love them. Because those days are so precious that they will always remember. And for those that are feeling so left out, always have positive thinking and always have a hope that life is good because your God is good.
Yeah, from here to Raijieli, we say a big level for those of you following this program, Family Table Talk. From here, you and your family, we hope that you'll enjoy the weekend and have a blessed weekend as we come to enjoy the second last Sunday of August 2023. For those of you who live in Lautoka, we invite you. If you're free next week, Sunday next week, 27, one whole week in Lautoka, especially for young people, you don't have anywhere to go. We invite you, come and celebrate with our young people. Thousands of them will be at Nandoku Park. And we thank the Lord for that program.
Yes, and let us know if you want your children to join us. Look after them and also get in touch with the office, and they will try and get your signature of approval to release them, to have them with us. It will be a blessing because the
it's
learning, the
holiday.
teaching,
Yeah.
and the exposure, just by interacting with other children, it's going to help. Yeah. On that note, thank you for being part of this family table talk, and we look forward to next Saturday again at 7:30 a.m. Binaka Bakalevo.
A family is an epitome of God's love towards mankind. God designed us to live in families. The Bible reveals that family relationships are important to Him.
But as a believer, do you feel that you are still struggling?
Are you still struggling with your relationship?
Struggling with your finances?
At work?
With your social life?
Or with your spiritual?
We invite you to join us
On our family table talk every Saturday.
at 7:30 a.m. on my TV.
Or catch us on our Facebook.
Get ready for an unforgettable week of faith, unity, and celebration.